good to go. All right, welcome to episode 18 of the Last Place Fire Team Show. I am today's host, Alan. I'm here with my co-hosts, Yendi and Chris, and we got a special guest today, my friend Richard. If you guys don't know him, he is, I guess, would say the host of Friend Simulator or co-host. I don't know. He'll
Yes.
give you the full introduction on it. But I've known Richard for years. He's a good friend of mine. You know, we play
Real
Monster
quick,
Hunter
Alan.
together. Yeah.
Frozen.
So we're gonna let the
Uh,
the
I'm
podcast
frozen.
or the show know Alan's been having
I-
a little bit of camera issues. It's gonna be okay. You'll see it reset. But I mean, it is a podcast, so you just
I
gotta
did
listen to the
I
audio.
did what you asked. I did what you said though.
I know.
Still,
Elgato just likes to make you jump through hoops and stuff until you figure it
Oh, yeah,
out.
for
So like,
Yeah.
you'll figure it out.
so yeah, I'll figure it out. But yeah. So that was my intro to Richard. So Richard, please. I'm glad you're here. Thanks for joining us today. Tell us about yourself.
Hey, what's going on, people of the internet? My name is Richard. I run a small YouTube channel called Friend Simulator. You guys should definitely go check that out. As of right now, it's for the most part a reaction channel to various things, mainly anime and music. And we hope to do a lot more things in the future now that we are mainly beyond the pandemic. You know, I can actually interact with my friends physically. So I'll be more in line of what I envision the channel to be.
Yeah. So I, if you guys don't know, I put the link in for Richard's channel in the chat under my name. So click on that, hit him with a follow, subscribe. You guys know the things. And then we got the normal Yendi. How you doing, brother?
Good. How are you guys doing? I been having a great time. So ready to have a new guest again. Wow, that's awesome.
It feels good,
yeah.
right, to have
Good.
someone
That's
new.
good. Yep.
And then Chris, how you doing?
Been all right, man. Been very busy. Yeah, now I got back into work, so I'm back from vacation and everything like that. So I was just trying to pick up from everything.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you know how we normally start. I like to ask everyone what they've been playing, what they've been doing. So let's start off with the guest. Richard, what have you been playing, man?
Man, what haven't I been playing? No, I'm kidding. I actually haven't been playing much. What I've been playing is Final Fantasy 14 because I'm a huge MMO nerd.
Nerd.
Play that game too, Alan?
I was playing it, and then WoW came out, and then I got
Ah.
addicted to Apex again. So
I see.
that was
I see.
my downfall of the MMOs. But I was playing with the guys, and then yeah, I kind of stopped
I have
playing.
to say, on Alan's behalf, I was fairly impressed with his skills. He went into some of the hardest content in Final Fantasy at the time, and he did it.
Thank you. You
It's
hear
not
that,
saying
guys?
much.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yendi, what you been playing, bro?
Actually, nothing. I've been just doing. I haven't had time. Like today alone, I was the entire day. Me and Anna were just working on I'm redoing my resume, and
Okay.
that's it. I mean, I tried to play Mass Effect yesterday, but I don't know if it was a Windows update that I did or something else. There wasn't a game update, but anyways, I can't play the first game anymore. It just freezes my system up. Thankfully, I have two monitors, so I can just task manager and then close it. But every time I start it up, it just freezes up. It sucks because I really want to continue playing. But yeah,
Yeah.
I guess a little bit of Warzone. I lied, a little bit of Warzone. But even that gave me issues with the the infamous disk-based BS that they always have.
He just
I did
doesn't
play
want
a few
to.
games.
He doesn't want to admit that it's his computer.
It's definitely not my
No.
computer. Maybe it's my 2080 telling me I need to upgrade. But
Well, the fun fact, we're going to talk about that later on in the show.
yeah.
But also, I told you what you need to do with Warzone. You just need
I
to
did.
delete it.
I uninstalled it, and somehow, I don't know how, I got back 233 gigs.
Okay.
How? I don't know.
I wonder
I'm
where
saying-
that came from.
Yeah. And just delete
well,
it and don't
the
play
game
it
file
again.
was 100 and something, but I got back more than what the game took up. So I'm very confused as to where that extra space came from, but I'll take it. And it was
Delete it.
it was on my M.2 drive, so that's even better because now I have more stuff to because I use that for editing and stuff, so it's quick. and now I have like a crap load of free space I don't know what to do with. But yeah, aside from that, not much else. So just doing my mouth stuff. Yeah.
Nice. Chris, what you been playing, bro?
I have been
I
playing.
know you had a long little vacay.
Yeah, I had a long little vacay. I had to stop the grind on Knockout City. I was playing a lot of Knockout City last week, but my mouse arm, I got a tattoo recently, so I'm trying not to
Ooh.
rub it up against the mouse mat and everything. So I've been playing Mass Effect. I have. When did that game come out? That came out.
Oh, the Legendary
Mass-
Edition.
Yeah, has it been like a week or two? Right, 2
May
weeks.
25th. I think May 25th.
I think it's been a week.
I have 15 hours in that game, and I'm not done. Like, I'm like doing all the side stuff. I'm really enjoying my time in that game, and I'm probably gonna put more hours into it after this. So because unexpectedly, I think I'm gonna get Mario Golf when that comes out. That comes out this month, and I'm very interested in it. So
It does look fun. That was one of the ones that we saw and was kind of interesting.
yeah, I was just like, okay, I can
like
play the race.
I like the speed aspect of it. The speed aspect seems pretty awesome to me. For me, I've been playing Apex. I just can't stop. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. But I also saw A Quiet Place 2. And if you guys haven't seen A Quiet Place, please go watch it. And A Quiet Place 2 is just as good as 1. And I know I'm frozen again because I can see it. So bear with me, guys. I'm sorry. But yeah, the but I did watch that, and I have been playing Biomutant. I told myself I'm going to play an hour a day because I've heard that it's only 10 hours, so 10 to 12 hours. So I think if I can beat it in 10 days, and I'm only doing the main missions, I'm not doing any of the side quests. It's an interesting game. I don't like the fact that the
No
I'm not
spoilers. I haven't
yeah.
opened mine yet.
I'm not going to spoil the game itself. There's a narration part in the game, like the game itself is narrated, and I don't know how I feel about that. So
It's been
it's
patched.
interesting. Yes, it's been patched to speed him up, but still it's still kind of weird to me personally.
You
But
downloaded the patch today?
yeah, I
Okay.
got it because I played it earlier, so
So
I've been enjoying it. I will say that though, I do want to finish it.
Is that a game that I should just probably wait till it goes like on a sale, or is that a game that's worth like, oh, I should go for it?
No, so for me, the way that I did it is I got the EA Pro.
Oh,
Play
true.
Pro,
I have
which
that.
is only
Okay, yeah,
15 yeah, $15 a month, and you can play pretty much all their brand new titles. So that's what I'm doing, and I plan on beating it before the month ends. That way I can take it off. But I might actually play Mass Effect again. Who knows? Because that's also on there. So it's actually a great value,
yeah.
to be honest,
Also,
for the $15 that you're paying.
I forgot to say, I did watch Ghostbusters 1 and 2.
Yes.
So, finally did that.
What'd you think?
Loved it. The second one, to me, I was like, okay, this is a rinse and repeat.
Yeah, it's okay.
I was about to question you. I was like, two.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, it was a rinse and repeat because as soon as it started and you see the girl in the beginning, and I was like, she's getting haunted again. Like, get rid of her. She's the problem. Like, like literally both times something's happened, it starts with her. So yeah, but I enjoyed both of them. Richard, you weren't here for that show. We had to talk about what was it? Something that was popular that like you've never seen or something like that. Or something like that. And
man, I got a whole list.
Yeah, I admitted that I'd never watched Ghostbusters, and they ripped me for it, so I had to watch it this week.
The only reason
what are some of yours, Richard? What are some of yours?
Yeah.
Some movies that are super famous that you've never seen but don't want to admit. Mine was The Godfather. Was one of them.
Mine is also somewhat The Godfather, but it's only because I fell asleep so many times trying to watch this movie.
That has happened to me with most of the Pirates movies. They're so long and drawn out. They're great, but I just can't help but fall asleep. So I get it.
Yeah, I would say it's not so much a like I haven't seen it. I tend to be on the side of overly critical, and I have definitely unpopular opinions about most mainstream movies.
He does. It's true.
Sounds like we're very similar in that respect.
Yeah, we get into
I'm
it.
like
We don't really
super
get into
strict.
it, but-
Like there's things I appreciate about a lot of those things, but overall, I'm gonna let you have it.
Good.
Yeah, he's always honest with his opinions, which is great. So
I
it's great to
respect
have
other
him.
people's opinions. Obviously, I never try to enforce my opinion on people. But if you ask me for my opinion, I do not hold back. Like especially if you're like, I love this thing, it's the greatest thing ever, and all that stuff. I'm like, oh man, that's really awesome. And you're like, what do you think? It's awesome, right? And I'm like, oof, I wish you haven't asked me that. Okay, so here's what I think.
Oh boy.
I'm
Melanie,
switching my capture cards.
You're good, man.
We're I might as well because I'm annoyed that I'm always getting frozen. So
You're good. Dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun.
I was
Dun,
actually
dun,
gonna
dun,
have the
dun.
Frozen theme song queued up. That way, every time I saw you freeze, I would go ahead and start playing
we
Let It
should
Go.
we should have totally done that. The good thing is we're on multiple platforms, so we're also on a visual platform.
Yeah,
So
so for
Yeah,
our video
the
viewers, they get
podcast people wouldn't know.
yeah.
exactly. So here we go. This should work. I shouldn't freeze again. If I do freeze again, it's Discord's fault. All right. So anyway, let's do a little housekeeping before we get into the show, guys. So we finally hit our guidelines or our marks that we needed to hit to do the mouse giveaway. So Yendi, I believe you came up with a video for that. If you want to tell everyone about it, that way they can hear it from you, which is better than
Just so you guys know, Yendi's gonna be very strict. He's probably
Yes,
not
he
gonna
is.
explain it. You gonna do a little bit of work for that mouse. I'm gonna let you
Listen,
guys know right
listen.
now. And I
Okay,
fully I believe what he's doing is right. So
Okay.
anyway, go ahead.
So here's what's gonna happen. Either tonight or tomorrow, I will be posting a YouTube video with the instructions on how to enter for a chance to win. Now, listen, I know some of you don't like to read stuff, but you gotta pay attention. Okay, there's gonna be a link in the description of that video that I post. You should watch and go to the link because that link has a Google form that you have to fill out. And if it's not filled out exactly right, you're disqualified. And the reason this is so strict is because you think about it, I'm giving this away for free. I'm shipping it out to you for free. So we don't have to do this, okay? So this is just to thank everybody who has supported us this far and just to say thank you. So again, don't come back to us saying, oh, I signed up and all this nonsense. If you don't pay attention, that's not my fault.
and
So,
yes, that box that says Social Security, you do have to put it on.
yes, absolutely. No, it's actually pretty straightforward. So fill out the form and then come check out the show on next week's show, June 8th, and the winner will be announced live. So if you're not here to watch the show and see if you won, then a runner-up will be picked and somebody else will get it. So just be ready for that. Pay attention.
Yeah.
That's all.
So like you said, he'll be releasing that, and if you guys are following us on the Twitter and on the YouTube and stuff, you should see the video anyway. So that should be coming out whenever he drops it, and then live next week we're going to do the giveaway. So be sure to tune into next week's show so that you guys can see who won the mouse. And don't you guys can joke around with the rigged stuff. That's funny, but it is going to be random. So that's all we can say. And then
okay.
One second. What is this in chat? Something about Black Magic is saying, I am Bakugan and Yandy is Midorania. You are my arch rival now, Yandy. Okay, listen, Bakugan, or whatever you say. Let's get it. Let's meet somewhere. Let's just let's make this happen. Just kidding, Black Magic. You're good. You're good. You don't hate me, man.
I hate this
You
man.
don't hate this man. You don't hate
We
me.
all do.
Okay?
He does it.
We're
Yeah.
BFFs, okay? It's glad to have you here every week.
You wanna-
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks for the support.
Yeah, Bakugan, huh?
Oh
The
god.
disrespect.
The
I can't-
I just love that three of us got it and Yendi has no idea what was just said. That's what makes it so funny. That's what makes it great. If you guys haven't checked out our video, Chris and I did our Horizon Forbidden West impression, which we loved. We don't want to give too much away. I will ask the guys about their opinion because they're not on that. So we will get their opinions. And if you guys want to see Chris and I's opinion, you will see it on that YouTube chat, on that video. So go check it out. Give us a like, comment, you know the deal. And then, yeah, if you guys want to be a guest on the show, please contact us. We have the email address, we have the Twitter, you know how to get to us now. It's not that hard.
We want to
We
talk
are
to you
all
guys,
here.
man.
Yeah, we like having guests on. It's fun. It gives us nice fresh energy. So we like that. So all right, going into the show next week, we got a couple. I mean, not next week. Well, going into the next stories, we got a couple of news stories here that we're going to talk about, like normal. So the first one is going to be BlizzCon 2021 has been canceled, and this story is coming from The Verge. And I saw this earlier this week and was like, huh? So it says though this is coming from Jay Peters from The Verge. It says BlizzCon's annual fan convention has been canceled this year due to COVID-19, like it was last year. However, the company plans to host a global event set for the early part of next year. The company announced on Wednesday. It says building an in-person BlizzCon is an epic and complex affair that takes many months of preparation, not just for us, but also the many talented production partners, esports, pros, hosts, entertainers, artists, and other collaborations. We team up with local and globally to put all of these pieces together. Now, I think this just means the live event, but there is room to believe that it might actually be the digital event also. And I wonder if that has anything to do. So, my question for this really is, do you guys think this delay has anything to do with the release of Overwatch 2?
Oh, that is a very good question.
Chris, I'll ask you first because you reacted.
Yeah, I didn't. Excuse me. I didn't think of that at all. Like whenever as soon as you said that, I was like, huh. I'm in my opinion, because being like in the entertainment biz and stuff like that right now, I think it's just because, like, in my opinion, I think they're just waiting for, instead of limiting how many people can actually go to the event, they're like, hey, let's just push it back. Let's just cancel it for this year. We're going to do it earlier on next year. Right. And by then, hopefully, everybody's just going to, like, we don't have to manage as many people or the situation at hand. Like, hopefully, COVID's better. We reach that herd immunity point and people can go about their business and we can have BlizzCon like we had, in the past years. So, but with the Overwatch 2 thing, I mean, I believe it because they have shown, I think like was it last week, 2 weeks ago? They showed a little bit more of Overwatch 2 and everybody's just like, cool, man. When does this come out? And they're like, huh? What'd you say?
The thing about that is they showed like 2 minutes of gameplay and like, we're like, but the whole event was supposed to be a PvP introduction of Overwatch 2. And they showed 2 minutes of gameplay. So that's why what I even thought about this question, because I saw this delay and I know they do plan on doing their digital, but I don't know when. They haven't released that yet either. And we talked about earlier I think it was like 3 shows ago when we talked about the BlizzCon, what's his name, stepping down.
Yeah.
So that's why I was curious to ask. Yendi, what do you think?
Well, I don't know
also,
what the heck's going on,
real
to be
quick,
honest.
Yendi. I also think, like, I'm starting to think that they want Overwatch 2 to release during BlizzCon. I feel like that could be a thing.
To
Like
release,
it's just like hey, go
right then and there?
yeah, and then they can just check up on it while everybody's
So-
playing, or do like an in-house tournament or something like that while at BlizzCon and be like, hey, this is what the game's looking like. It's global right now. Everybody's playing. Like, check out all these play. Like, I feel like that could be. I'm not saying that's 100%. I just feel like that could be a factor in, like, hey, maybe we could try to get this game during our
But
release.
you guys were saying that one of the reasons it may be canceled is because of Overwatch 2. Are you talking about like the controversy with the 5v5 change, or not enough?
No, it's just not.
info, or what?
It's just not done. Like, everybody, they keep showing us stuff, and there is no sign of a release date. They're just like, this character's in it, and everybody's like, awesome. But
So
when does it come out?
One of the pinnacle announcements, and now they can't probably show anymore. And they're like, hey, if we're not able to show this, which we know a lot of people are here to see, then there's no point in angering the fans anymore than we already have. I mean, I'm surprised that it took them this long to announce that it was going to be canceled. But I thought there's some other conventions happening in person. Am I?
There are.
off?
MegaCon's happening in August. They are trying to bring him back, but I think like they said, it takes a little bit more time with BlizzCon because BlizzCon likes to give awards and like rewards and all that stuff also. But the reason why I even, like I said, brought this up too is because, WoW Classic is dropping the Burning Crusade this week. So what else really do they have to announce? Because like Shadowlands is already going to go through its next patch. And that's not like a huge announcement for people to go, oh, I'm going to go to BlizzCon this year. Like usually people go for a huge announcement. And I feel like Overwatch 2 was going to be that announcement. And now that when that PvP thing that happened, it was kind of like you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
you know, I find it
What
interesting.
about Dragon Age? That
Dragon Age is not
could be
Blizzard.
another
You mean
announcement
Diablo?
that they could have.
You mean
No,
Diablo? No, Dragon
what
Age
am I
is not
thinking?
what
Yeah,
you're
Dragon
thinking.
Age
I'm
is
sorry.
yeah, yeah.
I'm a completely
Yeah,
different place.
come in.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they could
Diablo 4.
show Diablo. What's it called? Diablo Immortal,
Or
the mobile one, the
Oh
mobile game.
god.
That'll be
Richard,
the
what do you think?
headline of the show. Hey, come watch. No, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like Activision Blizzard. Is this strictly just
It's
Blizzard or?
BlizzCon is strictly Blizzard IP. So you
I mean,
got your Diablos,
haven't really heard
Overwatch.
of any other IPs that Blizzard could show off that are ready to show off yet. But then again, I'm not really big into their games. I don't think I've never played Diablo or really any other games that I can think of. But I'm sure that's not the case if I think about it. But I mean,
Yeah.
not surprised. It's COVID still, and we're finally getting over it. So I'm sure we'll get something next year, like they said. So
Yeah. Richard, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think you actually said exactly what I was thinking in terms of Blizzard has nothing to show right now. A lot of their games that have been announced years ago at this point are still very far off. They don't really have a purpose to doing BlizzCon this year, especially like you guys said, Overwatch 2 is kind of up in the air. There's not a lot of information on it, and if they don't have anything to show on Overwatch 2, which is their next big game beyond either Diablo Immortal, which is not even a big game, or Diablo 4, uh, they just have nothing to show right now. What are they gonna do? So
Yeah.
why not save the money, cancel the event, and just kind of blame the whole thing on the pandemic and just be like, oh yeah, can't do it, for the safety of others, which it kind of is, obviously. But yeah, the honest truth behind it is probably they have nothing to show right now.
And that was going to be my second point too is like do you guys think companies will start using like especially this year will be using COVID as an excuse to push things back? Like for instance, I know Chris and I have been more angrier than others about Sony and their like first party releases. Do you think like companies will like use that as a crutch now? Like, hey, we're not going to release this game because COVID.
no
Absolutely.
way.
They can
I don't think
You
so.
you don't think
I
so?
think so.
No way. It should be the complete opposite. They've had all these time. First, they've had all this time to get people acclimated to doing remote work, right? And these people have nothing to do but to work on the game.
and
No
also
other
also those
distractions or
people
anything.
ever since going remote, there's a lot of people in the gaming industry that love it. They love
Right.
it. So they're more comfortable.
They should. These companies should be pumping out games and DLC and just content. Period. There's no excuse. There's only so much you can blame COVID-19 for. And right now we're towards the end of the year. They should have gotten ready and settled with their remote work by spring. Right after that, it's full head on and just working on games. And by the end of the year, if I don't see a bunch of IPs, I'm calling BS on a lot of these companies. Sony is a lost cause. Period. You know. So yeah, I don't think they will use it as a crutch, as you said, but I think it's BS from a mile away for me. So
I
yeah,
think they'll
no.
use it for, I mean, obviously for consoles and stuff like that with the chip shortage, everything like that. I feel like they'll use it for stuff like that. But for games, I don't see a reason for it.
Yeah.
I mean, to kind of that point, right, with the chip shortage and not having enough consoles, from their perspective, they're kind of thinking that these are really big games. They spent a lot of money making these games. Why would you want to kind of push out your first party products when no one really has this console, right?
Exactly.
Like
Yeah.
a good amount of people have it, but there's kind of no purpose to push out God of War if not all the people that you want to have this console and who want this console have it. So to them, they'll probably blame it on another reason. Obviously, I don't think they would say it like that, but I do foresee definite delays. In a way, they're kind of, I guess, okay with releasing it because a lot of these, like I hear God of War 2 and Horizon are going to be on the PS4 anyway, so
Yeah.
they might still go ahead with those games, but for future ones that they were thinking PS5 only, yeah, I don't see why they would not just kind of delay it.
So far, the
Yeah.
only game I think is for PlayStation 5 only is I think it's Ratchet and Clank, right? Rift Apart. They didn't
Yeah.
announce it for the PS4. That'll be the first game that comes out that you can only play on
Well,
the PlayStation 5.
What's it
Returnal.
called, too? Returnal.
Oh, Returnal,
also.
Returnal. Yes, actually,
Yeah.
Returnal
Which
was
is
the
a
first one.
fantastic game.
Yeah.
Everyone should
Yeah.
play that.
I
Great.
I gotta
see.
give.
I need to play it, but the $70, man. The
I
$70.
know, I know.
It
It is
just hurts.
painful.
At least
It
I heard
hurts
it's
my
worth it though.
heart.
Like so far, a lot of people that have played it, they're like, "Hey, $70, it's
No, and that's awesome.
So-
And I like I said,
Mhm.
I just man, that 70. And you know what it is though? Also, I just think accessing games has been easier than it's ever been. Like think about like I was just talking about EA Pro Play, and like Mass Effect came out, and that was $60, and like I
Mhm.
can pay $15 even if I have that for 4 months. Like I could have 4 months of EA Play Pro and not like for $60 essentially, and not pay like for and have a library of games, like opposed to just having one game. Because I mean, after I beat Mass Effect, am I really gonna play it again? Same thing as Biomutant. Like I'm already having a hard time going through my backlogs anyway. Like when am I ever gonna play those again? Like so, I don't know. It's hard. I do want to play it as soon as it goes on sale, but I have to play Ghost of Tsushima first. So
Yeah. Hey, Astronomer,
Everything-
welcome to the stream. Hello.
hey man, he's in here to
Hey.
tell us that he has surpassed. He's never mind. I can't find the words. Go ahead. Skip me.
I
Wait,
have
Alan,
something.
did you just admit that you have not played Ghost of Tsushima yet?
we're gonna fast forward that. Fast forward.
Hey man,
Uh-huh.
it's worth the
Okay.
wait because I heard playing it on the PS5 is
Fast forward. Fast forward.
all right. But yeah,
And you know what? I'm ashamed of it. I'm ashamed that I haven't played. Sorry, Yendi. I'm ashamed I haven't
Oh, you're
played
good,
that
you're good.
because that
That's
was
up your
one of the
alley.
games that I was most anticipating, and I was like, "This is right up my alley." Even Chris, I remember Chris was like, "Yo, I know you're getting it on the first day," and I feel like I disappointed Chris because he was right. I should have gotten it on the first day, and I should have been playing it already. And I'm sad I'm going to buy it after this.
Well, I'm glad
Go
you
ahead.
didn't buy it for the PS4 because I remember I got it for my PS4, right? Got halfway through and then I got my PS5 and then I started playing my PS5 and I was just like, well, I got to go back and finish Ghost of Tsushima, and they're like, hey, it's going to get updated to the PS5, and I was like, huh. So now I just got to replay it, which I'm totally fine with just starting from the beginning and just going through it. It's a really
I need
good
to
game.
play it.
Yeah. But Yendi, what were you going to say?
Oh yeah. So going back to, I'm just kidding. It's trivia time, guys. Are you guys ready for this?
Oh no.
No.
All right.
I am not.
So here's how this works. If you haven't seen the show, I will ask a question. Let me finish it, and then first one that I see raise their hand will get a chance at answering. If you get it wrong, you don't get the points.
I
Okay?
won
All of
last
today's
night
questions-
or last month.
Oh
guys,
yeah,
just so you
last
guys
month
know.
Chris won by a landslide.
I'll have
He
you
won
know.
actually by, let's see,
We only
almost-
did 3 weeks instead of 4.
almost 8 points, which is a landslide. So, anyways,
Oh,
we have
let me
6
get my
questions.
Google ready.
Yeah, yeah.
He's taking my
definitely can't
Google.
go- Never mind. Sorry, I activated mine. So we have 6 questions for tonight. I would say these are moderate to difficult. So get ready. Get your
Yes.
thinking caps on. Remember, let me finish the question first.
Is there
Okay,
any
here you
like
go.
big point questions, or is it like two?
No, these are all single points.
Okay, cool.
Single
cool,
points.
cool.
Start
All
off.
right, all
They're
right.
difficult, but they're single points. All right. Question number 1. Name the game. This game is set in the fictional Norvinsk region, where a war is taking place between 2 private military companies, United Security (USEC) and the Battle Encounter Assault Regiment, or BEAR. Players join matches called raids, in which they fight other players for loot and aim to survive and escape. Dying results in the loss of all items the player used and found during the raid, with few exceptions. Chris.
I don't know why, but I was gonna say Escape from Tarkov, but I don't think that's it. No
That's right.
way! Oh yes! As soon as you said like you die and then you lose all your stuff, I'm like, I think that's the only game that does that right now. So,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Okay. Nice.
Nice.
This doesn't look good
Question-
for me, boys.
Yeah.
Hey, listen.
Question number
we're in the
2.
same boat, Rich. We're in the same
Here we
boat.
go. Question number 2. Which of these games was not an Xbox 360 exclusive in any capacity? So we got A, Mass Effect, B, Saints Row, or C, Left 4 Dead, or D, Demon Souls.
That was not a PS. Okay,
Go ahead. Yep,
Demon Souls.
that's correct.
That's what I was gonna go with. Yeah.
Damn it. I had my hand raised.
PlayStation 3 exclusive.
I know you put Mass Effect in there for a
A little
curveball.
throw, because it was. It was. At first.
Yeah.
It was.
Okay. Question number 3. What is the name of the corrupt car salesman in GTA 5? Is it A, Samuel,
Oh, thank God.
B, Hayek, C, Simeon, or D, Lester? Alan?
Simeon.
Yep.
I
Good
would've-
job, Oliver.
I would have guessed
The
Lester.
GTA 5, I know that, baby. That's that's my game.
Who's There's a Lester in the game, right? Who's Lester?
There is a Lester.
There is,
but-
yeah.
Yeah. mhm.
Okay.
Okay. Question number 4. In the original Mass Effect, Commander Shepard has the opportunity to become a special tactics and reconnaissance agent. What is the role more commonly known as? Chris.
Spectre.
There you go. Correct. Ding, ding, ding.
That, I had my hand raised first. Go back to
I,
the
know,
city.
I definitely saw Chris's.
I'm gonna
I-
challenge that
okay.
play.
Al,
Alright,
I gotta say, Chris definitely had his hand up like at
Yeah.
least 2 seconds before you did.
Yeah, he did.
Challenge
Yeah, he
flag.
did.
I can't wait to do
Okay.
this actually like live in person, like when we actually get together and do it in person. That's gonna be crazy.
It's gonna be like us tackling
It's
each
just-
other.
oh!
Question number 5. League of Legends is abbreviated with LOL, but its competitor, Dota, is an abbreviation for what?
Dope.
DOTA.
Bro, literally, I was listening to Minmax, and one of the guys plays Dota a lot, and he said that the name is so stupid.
Dude. Oh.
My only experience with Dota is literally the anime on Netflix.
Oh.
Which is pretty good.
What does it stand for? Anybody know what it stands for? Chris, go
I
ahead.
don't know.
I'm gonna say it's a trick question, and that it doesn't stand for anything.
No.
Oh, good one. But no, it does. It is an abbreviation for something.
Something
You
with
got
dragons,
me.
I'm assuming.
No?
Isn't it like dice? Dice.
Nope.
Okay, then I'm done.
No, I don't know.
All right. The answer is Defense of the Ancients.
That's what it was.
I never knew that until today.
Oh, okay.
That
Oh.
is what it is.
That's a pretty cool name
Okay.
too. It's actually a lot cooler than Dota.
Dota.
Right? Yeah. That's what I thought when I saw. Like, what? That sounds badass. I would play it.
Well, it doesn't
instead of
help
playing
that, like, you know, whenever you download League of Legends, it like I know the little shortcut says LOL, or no, I don't even think it says that. I think it actually says League of Legends
it
on
says
my.
League, yeah.
Yeah, it says League of Legends. So like the fact that you go on Steam and then it says Dota, it doesn't actually say the name at all. You never see the
No.
name. So,
No.
All right, last question. Here we go. Which 2 are not Bethesda published games? A. Wayne Gretzky Hockey. B. Terminator. C. Bioshock. D. Elder Scrolls. E. Fallout. And F. Tomb Raider.
you said which 2 are not?
Which 2 are not? Yep. Go ahead, Chris.
Okay, I'm gonna say. Oh shoot, no. I was gonna say Tomb Raider, and you said Wayne Gretzky. You said what else?
Terminator.
Tomb Raider.
Wayne
and-
Gretzky.
I'm gonna say Terminator and Tomb Raider.
Incorrect.
Okay, all right.
Richard? I'm going to say Tomb Raider. I wanted to say Tombinator for some reason. So Tomb Raider. And Wayne Gretzky.
Incorrect.
What?
Alan?
Yeah, I knew Wayne Gretzky was in there. I was like, oh, I know.
Wait, can you give me the other options?
We have Wayne Gretzky Hockey, Terminator, Bioshock, Elder Scrolls, Fallout, and Tomb Raider.
Oh, I'm so dumb.
Go ahead.
It's
I
Tomb
just
Raider and Bioshock.
yeah.
That's right. That's
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
wait, what?
I'm like
Bioshock is
Bioshock is
BioWare.
2K.
Oh, dang!
Yeah,
You're
2K.
right. You're right. You're right. You're
2K,
right.
you're right. Yeah, it is 2K.
Oh, shoot.
All right.
I'm like, wait a
Alan.
minute.
Alan and Chris are tied, 2 points each.
Wow.
Nice.
All right, that's it for the trivia. Thank
Yeah.
you for joining
Mhm.
us. I'll see you next week. All right.
We'll have some more. All right. Speaking of shortages, we're going to speak about a shortage, and we just talked about this a little bit earlier because Yendi's upset with this. But Nvidia expects its RTX 30 series to be delayed, to be shortaged until the second half of this year. This story comes from Taylor Lyles from IGN. It says Nvidia RTX 30 series graphics cards are among some of the more desirable products difficult to buy due to a number of reasons, including a global chip shortage. If you are looking to get your hands on an RTX 30 series GPU easily, you are probably going to have to wait until later this year. During its Q1 2022 earnings call, Nvidia announced that the shortage regarding the RTX 30 series are expected to remain supply constricted into the second half of the year. Despite the short supply and the high demand, Nvidia announced that it made $5.6 billion in revenue last quarter, with gaming revenue up by 106%. Now, I know two of you guys, well, now Yendi is two, but I know Richard for sure has a lot to say about this because he's wanted to get his hands on this for a while. He's even had it in his cart. So, vent, brother, vent, brother.
I'm just at the point where I'm like ready to hold someone at gunpoint. You know, I'm just there. Just hand over the card and no one has to get hurt. You know? It's oh my goodness. Yeah, I've literally had the card several times, whether it's like a 3070, 3080, never 3090. Those things are non-existent. I believe those are myth. Honestly, I don't believe it's real. Uh, but it's just so painful. And to the second half of the year, I don't even think that's technically true because, it will be available for like a second. There's always going to be some sort of bots out there
No, of course.
just taking the cards. It's not even like any doubt in my mind. You can throttle it for crypto or whatever you want. It doesn't matter. People are going to grab it. Because if you can, as long as there's a way to get past the security that throttles that crypto mining, then they're going to buy it. And they're going to buy it in preparation, waiting for whatever security patch is going to do that. So, right, it's just, it's PC gaming and PCs in general. It's not even like people are using a lot of this stuff for gaming. They're like workstations, right? Someone's
Yeah.
out there with a 3080 just to fill in some documents, and it angers me. And and people are just buying it because it's like, oh yeah, this is the best thing. You should totally get this. And people are like, right, swipe the card. And
It's like using the
it's
Infinity
ridiculous.
Gauntlet as like an oven mitt.
Right, exactly.
It's just like, oh, my pizza's hot, and it's just like, what?
Sir. Yendi, how do you feel, bro, about this?
Well, first I gotta say I'm super shocked that there's a shortage. Anyways, actually, you know what? I've never really had a want to upgrade my 2080 Ti because honestly, there's nothing wrong with it. It's been great the entire time I've had it. I am still a little bit pissed that they announced the 30 series not even a year after I've owned the 2080, but
At a cheaper price.
I'm still getting like I paid $1,300 for my 2080 Ti. Just keep that, yeah, full price. So I was pissed, yes, but only for a little bit there that I flirt with the idea of wanting to upgrade to the 3070, 80 or 90. But man, this thing gives me consistent 120 FPS in Warzone, which is a super intense game. And I don't think there's been a game yet that I dip under. I think the lowest I've gone is 90, unless the game's not optimized. So I have no need. It works. It works. No, not even Cyberpunk.
Really?
Surprisingly, yeah. It works even better. I mean, not so much with. It works even better with the Adobe Suite. Premiere just uses. It's not GPU based. but it still helps to have the 2080 Ti. So that's a great card to have for media creation and all that. But I mean, once again, not really surprised that there's yet another delay and shortage for these cards. They're gonna be picked up, like you guys have said, by bots. No one's gonna be able to get them. Charles is never gonna be able to build his PC and finish it. But I when I am ready to upgrade, I think the 60 series cards will come out, and then maybe I'll have a chance at getting a 6080 Ti, maybe, hopefully. But
The
it's a
crazy
lost
thing
cause.
about
Don't worry about it.
the crazy thing about it is the miners for cryptos are buying. They get like 10, and they just literally it's just a rig of 3080s. Like, and you're just like, bro, just one. Like, can I just get one? Like, you know what I mean? Not that I necessarily want one, but I feel the pain for Rich, and I feel the pain for Charles also, who the man Charles, who's been a guest on the show, he's got hit all his pieces. He literally has every single piece of his PC ready to go. He's literally just needs a graphics card. And like he has not been able to get his hands for it on what, like a year, Yendi? It's been like a year, right?
It's been a while, yeah. I mean, I told him, hey, you can use your integrated graphics and that'll work, but really won't be able to play games except maybe Minecraft.
Yeah,
but even that might take a hit.
Yeah.
So you'll build it. You can build it and then just put the card in later. But I mean, I don't think it's gonna happen anytime soon, man. Unfortunately, that really sucks because somebody like him who's new into the world of PC, he's not gonna get to experience all the cool things that we get to do and see the graphic differences and performance differences between console and PC. And like I said, I built mine. I'm not going back ever. Even I have an Xbox controller just for to be able to play single player games, for the games that require a controller. Otherwise, I'm not touching a console again until you guys send me your PS5 with Horizon. What is it? Final Frontier? Not Final Frontier. What is it? What the hell?
Forbidden West.
Forbidden West. Final Frontier.
Final Frontier? What is it? Star Trek?
Hey, it sounds like it could be a Horizon title, but yeah, I don't really have any plans to buy a console because PC is where it's at. And if you disagree, then you're wrong. I'm sorry about it.
Dang.
Some people like to get their thing and have it work.
Yeah.
To those people, I say, well, just wait a year for all the patches and your game will run fine.
There you go. There you go.
PC gamer nerd. Yes, I am.
With the chip shortages, man, I mean, I built my PC in the struggle of everything. I didn't wait for the announcement of the 30 series. I had friends telling me, they're like, hey, these cards are about to come out. Like, just wait a month. And I built my PC a month before they announced everything. And I'm glad I did. I have
I feel like we all, the three of us, all got a new graphics card before those things, because I got my 2070.
Yeah, I got a 2070 Ti. I got a 2070 Ti, and then they announced it, and then they were like sold out. And I was like, great, I'm glad I did not do that. I did have trouble getting my 10th gen CPU, and ended up getting one pretty quickly. But aren't they trying to? I was meaning to ask you guys, aren't they trying to fight against the crypto thing? Like, aren't they? I read something about slowing. I don't know if it was them, but if it's them or actual like companies are trying to slow down how long it takes to actually.
They're trying to work on it, but
they're trying to bottleneck so you can't mine as efficiently. But that's just gonna be taken out.
Some smart dude out there is going to figure a way around it, and it's not going to matter because
it'll be patched in a week.
Exactly, and it's just going to be the ongoing battle of hackers versus other hackers. Like, essentially, like the hackers that they hire, because those hackers either get a job and try to fight against what they used to be doing, and that's just how it works in cybersecurity. I mean, yes, they are trying to do that, but we know how this story goes, and there's still going to be those dudes who buy 10 and sell it for double the profit. I mean, this is like one of those old sneaker things. Like, sneakers, if you're a sneakerhead, this thing's been going on for years. Like, it's the bots always win, and you can't buy, the one pair of sneakers that you want. Jordan, UNC colors one, if anyone's out there, please. But yeah, But yeah, it's just one of the, especially now that more people are getting computers and getting into these softwares and things like that. People are doing it for a lot of things. Pops, like you guys know, I collect pops. That's another thing that's becoming really hard because thankfully I have some people and I got all my Demon Slayer ones. So, but but things like that happen, and like legit, the Demon Slayer ones went on sale at Hot Topic, and it didn't take 2 minutes before they were sold out. Like legit, because there's so many bots that hit these computers so quickly, and these retailers don't have any defense against them. They don't really care, and they're just like, well, it's a sale. A sale is a sale, so we're gonna just take the money and run, basically. And you guys deal with all those bots, and then you've got people selling some of those pops for like 150 bucks. Like it's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, man,
So
it's definitely insane. I mean, if you're waiting for if you're trying to build a PC and you haven't started yet, just go buy a pre-build. We were talking about it earlier.
yeah,
You'll be able to get a card then because they
they
have
do
these
have them
companies.
in those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also like the 20 series, man, like, it's still good. I don't see. I mean, on paper, obviously there's going to be a difference and everything like that on how everything runs. But if you're new to the PC gaming world, you don't need the top card right now. Just go with the 20 series and you are good to go for a while, for a really long
Yeah.
time.
And that
So
brings up
yeah.
another thing. How many? Here's a question I have for you guys. What? How many games do you guys think you own that actually push your CP? I mean, push your GPU to like its max? Like, what? How many games do you honestly say you own that's like it pushes your graphics card?
You mean before or after my 280 Super died?
No, well, I mean, which I know, which I know you're in the struggle. I'm not, but yes, before. Like,
I wouldn't say much,
I can't
honestly.
think of one now. And plus, I mean, we're in a world of like multiplayer games. Everybody's
right?
competing for battle royales and stuff. And I can tell you, the first thing that everybody does when they get the new battle royale or whatever game you're playing, you go straight into settings
the
and you
settings
turn
down.
everything down. You don't have quality or
Yeah.
anything. You're
No.
trying to get your frames per second up. So
Yeah.
like it doesn't even matter at that point.
I'm the
It's
opposite.
Huh? I
well,
do
yeah,
quality
because
on
you
some
I'm
have
games.
very
the
Yeah.
advanced
no.
stuff.
I mean, you
Besides
know.
shadows, fuck shadows. They take up so much damn. They just put
No,
your damn thing to work.
I always found that interesting because it's one of those like age-old arguments of like graphics over gameplay, like you know what I mean, like or gameplay over graphics. And I've always been a gameplay over graphics. Like I can deal with a game that doesn't have amazing graphics if the gameplay is intriguing. Because I mean, I've been playing JRPGs which have just like the Nintendo versions that like put, logged in hours with terrible graphics, but the gameplay was so good. So I always wondered how people lie
I,
along that.
I would rather drop down to a consistent 60 or 30 as long as the game looks good. If
Mhm.
graphically, oh, okay. It also depends on the type of game. If it's a multiplayer game, okay, I can deal with losing some graphic fidelity. That's fine. But if it's like a single player game where the worlds are meant to be experienced, in the best and the highest detail possible, I'm gonna push the hell out of that. I'm not paying $2,500 to make a PC to play a game that looks like booty hole. It looks worse than a Nintendo Switch. I'm not doing that. That's why
I
I
feel you.
push every game I have to as high as I can go. I push this thing so much, and it gets so damn hot in here sometimes. And to answer your question, though, the only one that really pushes the card and the fans to go like freaking turbo is Warzone. Like it gets going, but I haven't even overclocked it or anything. It's just pretty much stock. Haven't done anything to it. The fan speeds have stayed the same. But Warzone, and then maybe let's see what I got.
Destiny? Does Destiny
Destiny
do?
is smooth the whole way through. GTA 5 gave me some
Oh
Yeah,
trouble in
yeah.
the
GTA will push
beginning.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, but other than that, no. Like I said, I get a consistent frame rate, and I rarely go under 90 if at all. So
I
Yeah.
know some people who had issues with Red Dead 2 when it initially came out too.
yeah, that was a
That was
big,
a big
big
Minecraft
issue.
with
thing. Even
RTX on.
even people
Oh
with SLI cards had issues with Red Dead 2, which is
yeah,
crazy. Like, how the hell are you gonna have two 2080 Ti's and still struggle to show
it
your
is pretty
game well?
crazy. So all right, that'll bring us to our next topic, Yendi's favorite. We're going to the world of Nintendo, and he might have someone on his side here, so we'll see. So the Nintendo Switch Pro reportedly includes a USB 3.0 and Ethernet ports, which I just bought an Ethernet port, but I'm not getting a Switch Pro. But anyway, plus a Surface style stand. This article is coming from VGC, which is the videogamechronicles.com. This was posted by Tom Evans. He says fresh details about the widely expected new Nintendo Switch model have reportedly surfaced. Long-running Spanish video games website Bandle claims to have received the information that sources at an Asian what paraphilias manufacturer
Peripherals, yeah.
peripherals, sorry, manufacturers, which is said to have had paraphernalia, had access to the console. According to the site, the new console's dock will be slightly wider at the rear than the existing Switch in order to accommodate for two USB 3.0 ports. The current one includes a 2.0 and an Ethernet port, so it's going to be thick. The console itself is described as very similar in size to the current Switch model. However, it reportedly replaces the kickstand with more robust stand for tabletop gaming in the form of a Microsoft Surface style flap. So here's we get. Basically, it goes on to talk about what they, and then the other thing is Bloomberg previously reported that the console will include a 7-inch Samsung OLED screen, which is different, which is opposed to the 6.2-inch screen on the current models. So this, I know Chris was one of the people that were really excited about a Switch Pro. I don't really care for it because I just play Monster Hunter and that's it. And I actually need to get back on Monster Hunter. But Chris, let us know about your excitement.
Expect the unboxing video. Like I will be getting one. I'm gonna pre-order one. I got my Switch day one whenever it came out, and I love it. I wanted a Switch, like playing Breath of the Wild. That's whenever I started realizing I'm like, there has to be a better version that's gonna come out soon, and sure enough, that's when the rumor started. Like probably a little bit later on, that's when the rumor started. You can tell on some games, they make beautiful games. The games look great, but you can definitely see whenever it starts to bottleneck and things like kind of get thrown off. And I'm hoping whenever they finally do talk about the Switch Pro, that there's a lot of upgraded stuff. The only thing that's going to stop me from buying it is if all they upgrade is the dock, which they needed to be because of the heating. Like I know it's more room for the ports, but they need to solve the heating issue that they had in the original. And the screen's going to be cool, but I need it to be, the inside needs to be great. I need them to say like, hey, you're going to get 4K, like you're going to hook it up to the TV. Everything's going to be great. Because if it's not upgraded, if I just get an upgraded screen, then at that point, yeah, I'm going to have to say like, unfortunately, can't buy it, man. Like you can't sell me on a better screen. That's, I put it on my TV majority of the time anyway. I don't really play handheld for the most part. So I'm excited. Once again, like I said, I think it was like episode 2 of Last Place Fire Team. I was like, they're going to keep saying like, hey, there's no such thing. We're not making one. We don't know what you're talking about. We're not making one. And everybody's just like, we have the order sheet. I was like, yeah, that's not ours. We didn't make it. We're not making one. So hopefully we get more news during E3. Nintendo's not going to be at E3, right? They're just doing their own thing too, or they are going to be there and they're doing.
And the rumor is that they're going to announce the Switch Pro before E3 starts. So we should get an announcement anytime now.
The rumor, it says the publication claims that the redesigned hardware will be announced ahead of E3, which takes place June 12th through the 15th.
Listen, Nintendo.
That's in 2 weeks.
Yeah, listen, Nintendo.
So
you have a chance.
Within the 2 weeks.
You have a chance, okay? You watched Sony and Microsoft do the worst drop of consoles. Let people pre-order it early. Okay, very early, and then keep going. All right,
but this console is going to come out this year.
I know it's going to come out this year, but in the past, you used to be able to pre-order in the summer and then have time to pay it off in November, right? when
Alright,
as these
yeah.
consoles were like pre-order at the end of the month it comes out, and it's just like okay. So
Well, they're gonna try to release this by the holidays.
and
for
they already
sure.
had the situation. I think people are still trying to buy Switch. Well, no,
No, they're not. As
they
bad
finally
anymore.
caught
They
up
used
because
to- they were,
there's a
though.
butt ton of Animal Crossing Switches out for some reason.
Yeah.
A lot of people are buying those, but for a while they were short on them. So I'm sure they're gonna make. Well, actually, to be honest, I don't see them making a lot of Switch Pros, depending on that price point, which we've talked about. It might be a
Yeah.
little bit higher, but hopefully they have enough that everybody's gonna be able to get one if you want one. So yeah. And I will be selling my Switch if anybody's looking for one. So
Oh
yeah.
my gosh. Here we go. Richard, what do you think about the Switch Pro?
Ooh,
Will you be getting one?
would I be getting one? No, I would not be getting one. That's a definite no. The reason being is kind of similar to what you said. I don't really use it much for anything beyond Monster Hunter. It's a Monster Hunter machine, right?
Mhm.
To me, that's probably all it's ever going to be. I play very little Nintendo exclusives because I've already played them before. And that
Starting
was a
to sound
joke
like
that they,
Yendi.
yeah, that's a
Right?
joke that they use the same IP for, very, very long time.
How
But
I'm saying.
dare you, Richard?
Here we go.
don't worry, I won't harp on it too much. But yeah, I just kind of see no point because Nintendo's not the type of developer that really pushes the bounds of what graphics are and like performance are. So to me, like beyond Breath of the Wild, I didn't really see like a Nintendo exclusive that was just like, I need to see this with RTX. Like what do I care if the water in Mario looks a little shinier? Um, it's just I kind of see no purpose to it. If they do it, one of the things I do hope is that the dock itself has actually something that improves the system when you plug it in, right? Something
Mhm.
like you connect the switch and there's something in there like a secondary CPU that actually makes it better.
Well, for a
That way
while
it would be
they had a rumor of that happening. Like whenever they were talking, the first talks about a Switch Pro coming out, everybody was just like, it might just be just a new dock, and then it just kind of upgrades your Switch itself. Like the docking system is going to be its own thing, which I thought would have been a pretty cool idea. But
Mhm.
Nintendo has to go for as much as they want.
They got to
And
make a little bit more money.
yeah, and
Right.
as long as they don't do what they did with I think the new 3DS with Majora's Mask and say like, Breath of the Wild 2 can only be there's going to be certain features that only the Switch Pro can handle, and you're only going to be able to play it on Switch Pro. And then they're going to lose a lot of money and a lot of people very, very
Yeah.
fast.
I don't think they. I don't think.
I don't think they will.
Yeah.
I'm hoping. It looks like they're just going the natural route of like, hey, here's an upgraded system if you want it, and if you don't, it's okay. We're gonna keep making the Switch. You have all these other consoles that you can get to on the side, and we can keep having fun. So, yeah, they're vibing right now. I hope it continues that way.
Yeah, I think
And,
about what you were saying, I think a good thing for them to do would be to kind of do what Sony is doing with the PS4 versions of a game and a PS5 version, right? If you want it to be sparkly and shiny, and you actually somehow got your hands on a PS5, there you go. If not, we do still have the same game, no features lost, but obviously lower res, and the frame rates are probably at 30 instead of 60.
Yeah.
Um, as far as the docking goes, I think it would be a good idea to have a second dock. Obviously, they would probably have to charge actual console pricings
Yeah.
for that because it is a secondary CPU if they go that route. And most likely, what I would hope is they don't leave the handheld users like kind of out in the dark. I do hope that they improve the hardware in the Switch. I mean, it's already incredible, right? This thing is already pretty powerful for being a handheld. But if they improve that a little bit to kind of get you not a native 4K obviously in handheld, but an up-res the 4K, that'd be nice. And then when you plug it in, it just enhances the performance. That's kind of how I would go about it, and I wouldn't strip any features. Just obviously, if you play in handheld, you lose some of that performance that you would normally get, but you can still play the whole game, and I think that's Nintendo's best bet.
Yeah, and I also think like I know they're gonna touch it because it's majority of the time it is. I don't think they have to mess with the battery life, to be honest. I know whenever they were saying like, oh, you should be able, like in handheld mode, you should be able to play. I think they use Skyrim and Breath of the Wild. You should be able to play, I think, like 3 hours of it. And I'm like, people aren't gonna play 3 hours of those games in handheld mode. A lot of time when you have
Unless you're on a
handheld,
flight,
yeah,
like that's the only time.
yeah.
But yeah,
So
you're right.
I'm hoping that they don't touch it and they do work on the quality version of it. Because
The
whenever you
battery
start,
life will change a little bit because you are now doing a
yeah,
7-inch screen now.
yeah. So hopefully they're just able to get everything compact, and I, like I said, I just really hope that they figure out the heating issue, because the original Switch, which I still have, gets really hot. My wife's Switch, she got the Animal Crossing one, and that one stays pretty cool. It stays charged for a really long time. She just plays Animal Crossing on it. So, but whenever I got mine and I was playing Breath of the Wild, I had to do that trick where I leaned it side. I put my dock on its side, so the heat, it helped like the heat kind of just fall out of it. But it got hot really, really fast, and it stayed hot for a while. So hopefully they fix it.
Yendi, or our resident Nintendo hater.
Well, this is good. I think this is good for Nintendo fans all over the place. I don't expect it to be a very large upgrade at all. I know they said that the rumor is that it's going to be a bigger screen, 7-inch OLED, which even though OLED is better on battery, having a bigger screen size does mean you will need a bigger battery at least, which means you got to change the internals a little bit, change them around a little bit. So for me, I want to see the screen definitely has to be better. If it's not OLED, because I think the original Switch is just
LCD.
typical LCD, which is very noticeable. But with OLED, you'll get a lot more detail, and if it's a bigger screen, that means there'll be more not DPI, PPI on the screen, so you'll see more details. But I think that the updates are mainly going to be coming to the dock itself. The dock is going to be where the power is coming from. And as far as the Switch, I think the screen will be updated physically and internally, and then it has to be at least 1080p. It has to be, right? Because if it's going to be a Switch Pro, you would think the minimum 1080p, because the current Switch only does 720, and that's docked, I believe, right?
No, I think in your handheld it's 720. Docked, I think you get 1080. But whenever when you do dock it, that's what I'm saying. That's when you start seeing it bottleneck. Whenever I know, and sometimes like if I was like gliding in Breath of the Wild, that's when they started losing frames. Like it would be a few seconds you lose frames, and you would definitely notice it, and then everything would catch back up, and you'd be fine for a while, and then later on in the game it would happen again.
So I think it has to be upscaled there, like handheld 1080, and then when you dock it, it can go up to 2K, 1440. I don't see that happening unless they put some crazy software or hardware in the dock itself. The new kickstand would be a welcome change, because they might as well not have it now. That thing never stays up, and every time I take it off, I feel like I'm going to snap it off. And
there's a lot of third-party holders that do it too. Like there's so many things you can attach to your Switch now.
But you shouldn't have to buy third-party accessories for simple stuff like that, I think, personally. I do think it will need a bigger battery. I don't know how many milliamps it currently has now, but it will definitely need a bigger battery to accommodate a bigger screen with newer screen technology and pixels. USB 3 is a welcome change for sure. I don't know what you're really going to need that for on a Switch. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, I know you can do a lot of things with USB 3 now, as far as data transfer and just speeds.
Yeah, that's an interesting one too. That USB 3.
I mean, it's a welcome change. It is the future. Yeah. But to me, overall, this seems like it's just a ploy to get people to keep talking about Nintendo, keep talking about the Switch, and continue to have those sales numbers going, so that stock wise, hey, we're making that money.
Do you think we get new Joy-Cons? Like an updated version of a Joy-Con? Well, I mean, it would be the same Joy-Con, but you think they're gonna make
the article says that the size is gonna be similar, so I don't know what they could update on it, and besides adding like textured back or like some kind of grip that you can have, which would be nice, kind of like the Xbox controller has.
Well, you remember how like awesome. The Wii had what was the little thing that you attached to it? The Plus thing, Wii Motion Plus? Is that what it was called? The thing you just connected to the bottom. Yeah. I'm just saying, like, I don't know if they would do something like that. I mean, or actually, I don't even know
know.
how they would do it. I mean, if they took the
I
sliding,
bet
I don't know. Anyway,
I bet if anything, they would make a textured back or add a little hump to really get that. Because right now, holding the Switch without any grips or anything on it, I have mine in some grips that add a little bump in the back. It's so slippery to me, right? It's uncomfortable to hold, but with those grips, it adds a little bump at the bottom, so it feels like you're holding the controller. But I think at least they could add textured grip like they have on the Xbox controller. And I did read somewhere, I think, that this Pro model was supposed to phase out the current Switch model, not the
Oh.
Switch Lite. So it's going to be Switch Lite and then Switch Pro. And I could definitely see that happening because at some point there's going to be a lot of saturation, fragmentation happening where people are going to have 3 different consoles where you already have certain games that you can't really play on the Lite because of the Joy-Cons
Yep.
not being able to be taken off. I think ARMS might be one of those because you need to take those off. So I don't see Nintendo making a third SKU just to fragment their people even more. But these Nintendo fans, man, they'll buy anything this company puts out, even old, outdated IPs that they never want to.
Oh my
You know, it's just.
god!
Oh, spit it, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Let 'em
still
know.
excited. I won't be picking one up. The only reason I would is to play Pokemon in a higher fidelity, but those games aren't even graphically
don't even
intense
buy
at all
Pokemon. Don't
or
even buy it.
pretty. You
Stay
know,
away from it.
I'm buying the new Pokemon
Don't
game
do
coming
it.
out this year
Nope.
and then next year.
He's just gonna
But
bitch
it'll
about
look
it.
exactly the same on either console because Nintendo's well, it's not even Game Freak making
can't
these
help
games,
himself.
but you know,
He
nah,
can't help himself.
I'll buy them. I'll buy them because that's really the only reason I bought a Switch for is to play the new
Yeah.
generation Pokemon games.
Yendi is
always
literally
get you.
Yendi is literally that meme of that guy riding the bike and then putting the stick in the spokes and
The
tripping
sticker,
himself.
He's like, I hate this company, and
Yeah.
then
Buys the new
buy
game.
Pokemon.
Ah!
I can't help it, okay? I played every single one. I have to do it. You know, I wish I didn't get Sword and Shield because those games are complete booty hole. Like I say, they're
Thank you.
terrible. The worst ones in the
I agree with
in
that
the
though.
series, I think. But I am very excited for the Diamond and Pearl remakes because those are one of my favorite games, both Pokemon wise,
Top.
Elite
top
Four.
tier.
Oh man, everything about the game is awesome. But I will be buying that game, but I will not be buying a new Switch to play it on because I don't see a purpose in doing that whatsoever for little to no graphic change. So
All right, that's
I
fair.
have a question. Where
Okay.
can I sign up for the Church of Yondi? Because he preaches the truth. All right. He
I like
just
how you
speaks
put
it.
Yandi.
Yandi.
So it's like Gandhi. I like that. We're gonna keep that. There you go. We're gonna keep that.
Where can I sign up?
You can sign up. You just do through Google Docs. He has a form. I'm sure.
Hey, but
Read it,
Nintendo, if
read
in the
it.
future, and also Sony, because I know Yendi likes to speak the truth. We like to speak the truth here. But if you want to send us early game codes and stuff like that for us to review games, I love you both. All right. All right.
All of
We
you
will not
out
accept
there
them.
can
I will
sign
delete
up.
the emails.
Yeah. You're telling me if they sent a code and it said
Don't listen to
Horizon's
Yendi.
Horizon
West?
Forbidden West words, right? And then
Archive.
oh, okay.
Delete.
Live. First of all, don't let me find out because I'm coming.
Yeah,
over.
you're gonna be hearing
There's
those
gonna be
tires
some-
screeching.
It's a
What's
problem.
that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, now that we've talked about the other 2 consoles, let's talk about the one we haven't talked about yet, and it's going to be the last story for the day. Xbox and Bethesda are holding a showcase on June 13th, and it will be 90 minutes long.
That's more than 89.
Yes, it is.
Damn.
This is Jay Peters again on from The Verge, and he says Microsoft's big E3 event to showcase upcoming Xbox and Bethesda games will kick off on Sunday, June 13th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, and it will be a 90-minute show. The show will focus on games from Xbox Studios, Bethesda, and many game creators from our partners around the world. Aaron Greenberg, general manager of Xbox Games Marketing, said in the blog post. So and we all know we've talked about this to an extent. I mean, about the whole purchase of Bethesda and things like that. So I wanted to know what you guys think we're going to see, and what announcements do you guys expect here on June 13th? And we most likely will be doing some form of reaction to it. I don't know if we're going to do the whole live hour and 30 minutes because those get long, and then some. If there's something boring,
We
in
might
between,
do like a little, if anything, like because
We'll
I'm
do it
working that
after,
day.
like-
I might do. We
Yeah.
might just do a hangout. Like we're just gonna watch it for fun, and then we'll do like a small talk about. We'll do a small thing at the end and talk about it, and it'll be
Yeah.
a separate thing. But if you just want to hang out with us on Sunday, I'm sure one of us will be on, and I mean I know I'll be live
you know,
streaming,
I'll
and I'm
be
just
glued
gonna
in.
I'm just gonna hang out and just watch.
Yeah.
So
But yeah, so I just wanted to know what you guys, what do you, expectations, what do you guys want to see, and pretty much what are you expecting to see? Kind of, just give your opinion on. I want to know what you guys think. Rich, we'll start with you.
Let me see. I do like Bethesda a lot, even though they have betrayed my trust more than Nintendo has. Um, they they're a company that I love,
Yeah.
but I also despise everything they do.
And
because
we
they
despise them because we love them. That's the problem.
right. It's an abusive relationship. There's no other way to put it. It's really abusive. Like it's
It's toxic.
16 times the betrayal, you know? It's but yeah, I'm looking forward to what Bethesda has, especially now that hopefully they have a little bit more pocket change coming from Microsoft to oh, please upgrade your engine. For the love of God. Please.
they do every
It's
time.
time.
They always show the new game and they're like, it's upgraded,
Yeah.
and everybody's like, that still looks the same. It's like, no, it's brand new.
Well, they upgrade the engine by upgrading it to the next console they port it to.
What game? What
So
game was that though? They said like we have a brand
All
new
of them.
engine. Do they really do? No, but there was one that they advertised heavily. They're like with our brand new
Probably
engine, and they showed it, and everybody's like, it looks the same. It's the same thing.
Probably Fallout 76.
Could be
Oh,
that
maybe it
too.
was probably Fallout 76.
It could be any of the games that they made.
Yeah,
like
true.
like honestly speaking, it's not even a joke, but like seriously, we've had Skyrim has literally lasted what 3 console generations, like
Yeah.
legit. You know what I mean? And it's insane. But yeah, go ahead, Richard. I'm sorry.
Oh, no problem. Yeah, it just I look forward to what they have to announce. Obviously we know that they have Starfield and Elder Scrolls on the way, but I think those games are both very far out. But hopefully they show more than a teaser this time around. They at least show a concept trailer. I'm not expecting any internal gameplay at all. I would be surprised if they even have even a polygon made of actual gameplay. But if they can at least show a concept trailer of what they're thinking of, I think that would get fans really hype. I think fans would enjoy that. I think they're gonna talk about Fallout 76. I think they may do another expansion even.
Wow.
That game is still alive with some
How?
dedicated fans. I
Apparently
don't
it's gotten
know.
better. It's gotten a lot better over time, apparently.
That's what I heard also too.
Yeah.
But
Right. But it's an abusive relationship, You can't slap me around like that and then, give me an ice cream pop and you're like, here you go.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's I there's no better explanation than like somebody meme like the cops intro with Bethesda getting arrested in a wife beater. Like he's just an abusive relationship with that company. But yeah, that's what I'm expecting from Bethesda. Xbox, I'm more excited to see what they have, right? They got the
Mhm.
studios. Now it's time for Microsoft to show us what those studios are doing. You don't have to show us gameplay necessarily, though gameplay would take you a very long way. But if you don't have any gameplay, you got to show us something, right? Something that gives the people hope. I think a lot of Xbox fans are really excited to see what Microsoft has in store. You see the large list of all the studios they purchased. So now it's time to see the results of that. What's happening? What are these studios doing? Where are they up to? When are we going to see these games? At this point, you know, after E3, we should have some semblance whether these games are coming end of the year, next year, or 4 years from now.
the
But
good
as
thing
long as they can give us a time frame, I think we'll be good.
the good thing I think Microsoft, which they did get shit for, is that they did say our exclusives are not coming out till 2022. And at the time, a lot of people were like, upset about it. But realistically, we didn't get that many from either of the consoles, and I think Microsoft did get a bunch of shit for it. But in turn, it looks like a good thing because now, if these games, if they can knock out this E3 showcase, like now, like you said, with all these studios and things like that, they're going to get volume because I believe Microsoft has the best way of getting into next gen with the Series S because it's such a friendly price. I mean, 299, and you can start playing a next gen console even at 1440p, which is what most people will like anyway. So I think if they can really knock this out of the park, I think it'd be super beneficial to Microsoft. Like you said, I do think people want to see. You have all these companies now. What games are you going to give us? What titles are you going to give us? When can we expect those? And I think they're going to show Halo, the new version of it being freshened, just because I mean Microsoft has a lot of stock in Halo, and I feel like I don't think anything else matters if Halo fails. Like regardless of them having all these studios and things like
That's
that,
a lot of pressure
I
on that
just feel
team,
like
man.
I know it sucks and it's unfortunate.
I'm scared for
and
that game.
Yeah.
I am too because I feel like it's going to have all this pressure and it's just going to be too hard to live up to. Like, you know what I mean? Even if it's a decent game, like let's say it's a good game, people are still going to hate on it because it wasn't great. So, and I think if that happens, it's going to then kind of have like an overcast on the well, we told you Microsoft couldn't do it, even though I've especially in this generation have preferred everything Microsoft has been doing over Sony personally. But I just feel like to the mass audience, it would be a big issue if Halo comes out and it totally fails. So, Yendi, what do you think about what are you expecting? What do you want to see from this thing?
I'm very excited. Like you said, they've been gobbling up a bunch of studios and having them work on new stuff. I can't wait to see what new stuff they have. But unfortunately, I do think that most of that 90-minute presentation will be filler, and we'll probably only get maybe 15 to 20 minutes of substantial announcements. As far as what I want to see, I don't know too much about Starfield in general at all. I don't know if it's a new series, if it's they're bringing it back from the dead. I know nothing, but I do know that it is Bethesda and that people are excited for it. I don't know why they're excited for it, but
It's a legend.
is it okay?
Yeah.
Well, if there you go. But sure, I wouldn't mind seeing something like that. But I do think one of their headliners or the headliner will be Halo Infinite for sure. And it, like you said, it has to be good. And if unfortunately, also like you mentioned, if it does come out and it is a good game, even then, I don't think it's going to do as well in the long term. And
Yeah.
therefore, it'll be seen as a failure, even though maybe critically it'll be a success, But I continue to say this ever since Bungie left the IP to 343 Studios. Halo's gone down. I don't think of Halo the same ever again. They had the chance, they fucked it up. So they really have to impress me, who would call themselves a real big Halo fan, because Halo was the first true online FPS that I played. So I have many hours, thousands probably, I don't know, of Halo 3 multiplayer alone. But I'm excited to see that, but at the same time, also cautiously optimistic. I'm not expecting much, just because I don't want to get disappointed. And if you guys remember, in one of our earlier episodes, I did say that Halo Infinite was not going to be good, and that it was going to be a game that just crashes and burns, because it's just not going to be good, because 343 I don't think understands what it means, what Halo means. It doesn't mean lock. It's a Master Chief. That's what we're there for. I'm not here to
Yeah.
play some random ass, but I don't care about that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care about that. But anyways, so Starfield, Halo, I would love to see a teaser for Elder Scrolls 6, but I don't know if we'll get anything. If anything, we'll get some kind of verbal update, be like, "Hey guys, we're still working on this. Development's going great," but I don't think we'll see anything. The Personally, I am a racing game fan, so Forza 7 or 8, I think it's gonna be
Yeah. I think
now.
we're on 8. We're on 8.
I'm very excited for that because I do love racing games, and Forza is really good as a racing game. Fable, I'm excited for. I enjoyed the first 3 Fables, two,
There's
three
three.
Fables,
And then they made one
the
for the
three.
Connect, right? Didn't they have a
Yeah,
didn't
so
Connect
I
have like
really
a
enjoyed everything about Fable, from the original Xbox all the way to 360. Loved it. And probably the game I'm most excited for, and I really hope they show something or just talk about a little bit, is the Indiana Jones game that Bethesda is
Oh
making.
yeah, that is so true.
I don't know if you can see them, but I have 3 Indiana Jones posters,
Yeah.
movie posters, like life size. I would wake up every day for the longest time just rewatch the movies. Those are one of the only
Especially
movies I
that
can
Crystal
watch
Skull,
over.
right?
I liked it.
Oh my
I would rather watch. I would rather watch the Crystal Skull over Temple of Doom.
Hey,
I think Temple of Doom. I think Temple of Doom is the worst one in the series, hands down.
Remember, you wanted to go to the House of Yandel.
Listen. Okay, listen here.
It's Yandi.
Yandi,
Listen
whatever.
here. The Crystal Skull gets a lot of hate, and I will admit there are parts of the movie where even I'm like, okay, what the fuck was this? Like, it didn't need to be here. I personally wouldn't have cast Shia LaBeouf as one of the characters. I would have picked probably anybody else. But
He was the best part of the movie.
the premise is not crazy. If you think about all the other Indiana Jones movies, we got the damn Ark of the Covenant. We got a fucking guy taking the heart out of the chest, and it's not aliens. If anything, aliens are the most realistic version, if you want to look at it that way.
I just think of the meme aliens.
Yeah.
And the female lead in Temple of Doom is the most annoying character in all of life, like period. She's like, get the hell out of here. Who cast this? Get out of here. She's so annoying.
How did she do it?
I can't stand it. Every time I hear that woman's voice, I just want to shut up.
It's already clipped. I'm putting it on YouTube. It's already there.
It goes. Look, this is the official standing of the movies. It goes Raiders, Last Crusade, Crystal Skull, and Temple Doom. I wish Temple Doom was never made. It feels like a fucking what do they call it? A ghetto ass knockoff that some random ass company makes. It's like a JoJo Brums remake of it or whatever. Like, it should never have been made. Anyways, yes, I'm very excited.
JoJo's. You might
right.
get into it.
I'm very excited to see something else about this Indiana Jones game. I hope it's really good. I don't know if we'll get anything. I don't think so, but the kid in me is like, please, 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 Todd Howard, don't let me down. Show me something good. I want to see Harrison Ford in there. He can be young. It could be a young Indiana Jones.
Oh, in the game. I thought you meant at the showcase.
Yeah.
I'm like, they're not getting that man at the showcase.
I think
He doesn't mind doing Indiana Jones though.
I know he likes it, but I don't think he
trailer.
likes video. I don't think he would do the video game. Like,
all he has to do is voice acting.
I know
Really
that, but I'm
easy
saying
to
like
do
actually
anything.
showing up to the event. Like, you know how Keanu Reeves
he
showed
is
up for
old.
Cyberpunk and stuff like that. Like,
He'll do
But
anything for the
I know
Raptors.
that people poured over that trailer that they released, and I think this was going to be set before the Last Crusade, I believe.
Yeah.
That's the timeline.
That's what they're saying.
And you know what, man? Anything I get of this game will suffice. And I'm probably gonna say I'm more excited for this than Elder Scrolls 6. And I'm a big Elder Scrolls fan, just like a lot of other people out there. But out of anything, this is what I'll be the most giddy for. The thing that actually made me go like, whoa, which there hasn't been something like that's happened in a while. That's something that really got me going inside, got me excited. So come on, Todd Howard, show us some Indiana Jones stuff.
Oof,
Yeah,
if you put your faith in Todd Howard, I don't know if that's
I
gonna
know.
work out.
It just works.
so I'm fully expecting that. Like, I know this year I did say that I wasn't gonna get an Xbox because of my PC. I think I might end up getting I might end up getting a console for the living room. I feel like that's what this 90 minutes is gonna tell. Yeah, that's what it's gonna tell me. And then, babe, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. So yeah. But what do I want to see? I do feel like we're gonna see I think we're gonna get something at Starfield. Because for the past,
They also teased something kind of.
I just need a concept.
because the past two E3s, right? How many E3s ago did they announce it? Was it 2 or 3? It's been 3 years.
Like 3.
It's been like 2.
2? Okay,
Yeah,
so
2 or
whenever
3.
they first showed it, like, our first space game, and then they showed like the title, and that was it. And we've been seeing that same screen since. So I'm sure that for this one, they're gonna be like, hey, It's still being worked on. We don't have a release date, but let's give you a little bit of something here. So I think we're gonna see that. I know Yendi, you said that they're not gonna show a lot of, what did you say? The showcase is gonna be like a couple titles, and
It's
then
probably a bunch of fillers, and there's gonna be a lot of
Mhm.
World premiere. It's gonna be
Yeah,
it's gonna be
'cause
shown
they
first
always
through
like-
the Xbox event.
they always like being the ones that say they like the one to be the ones to say like, hey, we showed you the most trailers, so I'm expecting a whole indie section of like just like a montage of all these games coming out. I'm hoping
love
for the
indie games.
Nintendo freaking
Nintendo going to Game Pass.
the Game Pass. Yes,
That would be
I
the biggest
or-
thing ever.
I
Yeah,
hope
Game Pass going to Nintendo.
I hope it is that one, and if it is, holy crap. Okay.
My mind would legit be blown, and I would actually praise Nintendo for allowing it.
So I kind of hope that happens, and then what else, man?
So,
I kinda want
sorry,
the-
quick question about Starfield, real quick.
Yeah.
From what I've seen, this is a new IP.
Yeah, it's
that
new. It's brand new.
Bethesda's putting out.
Yeah.
So it has nothing. Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Nothing. Yeah.
we know absolutely nothing about what this game is gonna be.
Nobody
No,
knows.
But
It's just
people
like
are
they came
freaking
out.
about it. It's
they
just gonna
literally-
Bethesda?
Funny
Yeah.
people's ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They literally
It's
came
actually
out when
just-
they announced it. They were just like, "Hey, this is our first. We've been. I think they announced it how it's just like we've done post-apocalyptic. We've been in the past, and it's like it's time
So,
for us to leave.
They're
Earth."
doing their take on Mass Effect, is what I get from this.
I guess
You
could
know
say
what?
that,
You
yeah.
know what? You know what it is. What I feel like it's going to be. Honestly, it's going to
Like
be
Fallout in
Outer
space?
Worlds. No, it's going to be Outer Worlds.
That's
It's
what I
gonna
think.
be
That's what I was thinking too. I got
because-
that vibe because like
because especially now that Obsidian is now with Microsoft also.
yeah.
Mhm.
It just
Back
makes
together
me think-
again.
Yeah, like I feel like
But,
it's
but the Obsidian's not working on the game. It's actually Bethesda
no,
themselves.
Yeah.
Right.
I know, but you know how that is. Like they're
You
gonna
can
be
have
like,
those
hey,
teams definitely work on
Yeah.
that. game
Right.
for
they're
sure.
gonna be like, hey, you guys made an outer space game. Can you help us? And they're gonna be like, sure. We
Yep.
made New Vegas, which people love.
May-
That
Best
you guys
Maybe
Fallout
made.
ever.
same universe. Maybe same universe.
Don't at me. Best Fallout ever.
I agree
Which
with
one?
that.
I agree.
Fallout New Vegas.
New Vegas.
Oh, I never played it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
The-
Even though
the
it was
buggiest one, but the best.
buggy, but it had a very compelling story, and it wasn't as boring as 4 is because I still can't beat 4.
Same.
But yeah. But go ahead, Chris. I'm sorry.
I kind of think it would be fun. I kind of miss the old like console war banter. So I dream of the show opening, and they just have like the Xbox up there, and then it just says SSD Showcase or something like that, taking shots at Sony.
Mhm.
But I don't know, man. I really hope that they have. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. I think we're gonna see a lot of indie games. Halo, I think we're gonna see. I feel like maybe we'll see a little bit of multiplayer. I think they're gonna. I feel like this is the time to show what multiplayer
better.
is gonna look like.
The game's
Yeah,
coming out
but
this
something.
fall. We better see.
Yeah,
see a
They
lot of
have to
people.
show something.
Yeah. So I don't want any more story. I'm excited for the new story. For them restarting it. I did like what we saw a couple months back. But yeah, I think Halo we're gonna get more multiplayer. What's another game, man? You think we get Gears at all?
I don't
6?
think so. Well, I mean, we I don't
Like
I
a new
feel
Gear?
like
I
this
don't think
is-
we'll get a Gear 6. I think because with the last Gears,
they
did
just
it
came
did it
out
leave
with
off with a cliffhanger?
Yeah, well, yeah, stuff can be added, and
Okay.
Gears 5 is great if you haven't played it. But I do enjoy Gears 5. But they just added like a hive burster mode, so like they just did recently. I don't see them coming out with a Gears thing. I feel like this is going to be very Bethesda heavy. I feel like they're going to. I don't know. And again, I also agree with Richard in saying I don't know how far. I feel like these games are far a thing like far from now, like at least, which is why Microsoft saved themselves by saying 2022 is when we're going to get our exclusives. And I feel like that gives Bethesda even more time because it's going to be like, well, we already told you guys, to expect this to not be out anytime soon. So I do think we will see something from these games because honestly, it doesn't matter what they show. Everyone's going to be excited because we don't know anything about any of these games. Like, you know what I mean? So even if they show like what necessarily could be like when we look down the line as a bad trailer, if they show any trailer, everyone's going to freak out because Starfield has this weird vibe to it that I don't even know how it grew into what it's grown into because like no one knows anything about this game. They just are going off of the word of Bethesda And if anything taught us, last year, that you can't put too much trust in this because remember, we all put our faith in Cyberpunk and look what happened. So,
Mhm.
yeah, so I feel like they have to show something though to get that, to get like people to be like, okay, this is coming out. We're actually seeing gameplay. So I feel like I don't think they'll show gameplay, but I do think we'll get like a fleshed trailer at least for Starfield at least, I think.
So what's
And
your?
then
Oh, go ahead.
go ahead, go ahead.
I was
No,
gonna ask you guys like what for like the last question thing. What would be your dream like announcement, like somebody coming out and how it would look for you guys?
Harrison
Or
Ford on stage with the whip and hat.
Like
Let's
full
go,
costume?
baby. Or even Todd Howard in the leather jacket, hat, and whip. You know,
All right.
that'd be a good way
My-
to start it off.
I would love to, and I know this is not going to happen, but I would love, and I think it would be insane if Halo got shown and then like Bungie came in through. And I know that's never going to happen, but that like this we said
They
it's
just
a
pull in
dream.
the
But,
warhog, like, oh.
I want it to be like I want it to be like Halo Infinite,
Yeah.
and then like I want it to say like 343 Studio and then / Bungie. Like you know what I mean? Like and that's it. And I would freak out because I would be like,
Well,
yo,
like they're working on it alongside
Yeah,
with 343.
yeah,
No
and that's
way,
just a
they're
dream.
focusing on their
I
other
know.
IP right now.
Listen,
but
Yendi, he said dream. Okay, stop
that would
killing
be a
my
slap in
dream.
the face at 343.
Stop
Man, you
killing
dream
my
big.
dream.
You dream
Stop
big.
killing my dream. Okay.
That'd be like telling 343, hey, fuck
Yes.
off. Here's
Well, I
Bungie.
mean,
All that
well-
work you
well-
did doesn't matter. Bungie's gonna take
Yeah,
the spotlight.
yeah. They kind of messed up with the last Halo, man. Halo 5 was pretty bad. Like, and
I enjoyed the
and
multiplayer.
I enjoyed Halo's 4 story because I feel like it was good for the Cortana and Master Chief. Like that, like bond was tested in 4. You know what I mean? But 5 didn't even mention that. Like it was like it never happened. And I was like, wait, what?
Story wise, I
You
did
know
not
what I
like
mean? I
those
thought
games. I like the
I thought we
multiplayer a
were
lot
gonna
because it was
build
more
up to
fast
this,
paced.
like you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
it got really weird, and I don't know where they are in the story. So I do kind of like I do agree. Bungie once Bungie left, it was all downhill from there. But I think it would be cool if something like that happens. I don't care if it's a slap in the face of 343 because you messed up. Okay, and you need Daddy to come in and fix it.
Mhm.
Like so let's make it happen. All right, but that
My
would be
dream
my
is my dream is literally they embrace the meme of that very jank NPC that they zoomed in on, but they show an improved version of it, the new improved version, and people blow their minds like, "Whoa, he has textures!
Yeah.
Oh my god!" Yeah, that's like my dreams are small, right?
Yeah.
That's all I
Realistic.
want.
Yeah,
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 like-
realistic also.
If I was Microsoft, I would literally do a snippet of that same scene, but the improved version of it, where
That'd be
it's
cool.
not as murky and the backgrounds are actually there. It doesn't look all jank and
I mean,
pixelated.
wasn't it Microsoft that brought out Keanu Reeves?
No, I think no.
No, that was
I mean,
Cyberpunk.
That was Cyber.
Yeah,
oh no, it was
Cyberpunk.
at
No,
Microsoft's.
Xbox.
Yeah, it was at Xbox's
that
press.
Xbox?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it could totally happen that we can see Harrison Ford there, therefore making my dream the best possibility and chance of happening. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you
That
next
wasn't
week.
Dang, I didn't even get my dream is
And-
oh
that
the
was-
room. My dream is the room going red or something like that. It's like the room's black, goes red. You hear Mario's footsteps, and then
Oh.
and then Miyamoto comes out, and he doesn't even say anything. He just walks to the stage and just and like I know as soon as
People will go nuts.
as soon as you
No.
saw his face, he wouldn't even get to the center of the stage. That's why the room has to be pitch black. He has to be pitch black. They gotta put him on stage, and then you hear the footsteps, lights come up, and he's there smiling.
That would
And,
be
I would
badass.
throw my
people
chair.
would go nuts.
just
I'm getting
throw my
goosebumps
chair.
thinking about that. Ah
I'd throw
man,
my chair.
We're getting
You know what?
arms
Yeah.
on the Xbox.
yeah,
I
that
see it now. The room is green. The room, then the lights split in half, and it's red and green. And then you see Mario
Yes.
and Luigi.
oh yeah.
Oh man,
That'd
that
be
is
dope.
definitely a dream though.
Oh.
That'd be dope.
'Cause
I
if-
don't think
if-
it's too far off. I don't know.
If they do
Pass.
the Game Pass on Switch, I really hope he's at the press conference. That man, everybody loves him, man. Everybody wants to meet that guy, and he's a very humble guy. He loves video games, and it would be great to see him on the Xbox stage. I would love that.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
Well, that'd be awesome. I mean, who knows? It is the most exciting time in gaming, though, if we're going to be honest. Look at it, the excitement we have just about all this stuff. I mean, E3 is right around the corner, you guys, and we're going to be doing a bunch of stuff like tailored towards it. There's going to be a lot of game breaks, and we're going to be doing like some videos to shoot in and out. So, I'm excited for this time. We might do, some like, I think we should totally do like an expectation and thing list.
100%.
We'll talk about all that stuff. But thank you everyone for joining us in today's show. Richard, thank you so much for being a guest today. If you guys want to catch Richard, please follow him at Friend Simulator on YouTube, right? And that's where you can find him. I put the link in the chat. Go, support my friend. It's a great content. He has a lot of fun. Him and his girlfriend are showing a lot of doing reactions and stuff like that. And it's a lot of fun to just sit back and watch. Anything else you want to tell them about your channel, Richard?
Yes, it's amazing in every way. You should definitely come by. I know what you're thinking. What? Music? I mean, we all listen to music, but I don't care about this music. What? No, come on by, right? Because the thing is, I'm the best, right? I'm hilarious. Why would you not want to come? I invite you over to my house, right? You come with your muddy shoes, you walk all over my place, and you don't even have the decency to subscribe. So I need you to do that for me right now. All right, go back to the front door, take off your shoes, swing on by, watch a few videos, and I appreciate that. And while you're at it, go ahead, and if you haven't already and you're watching this, why are you not following these guys right now? You guys should be ashamed of yourself. All right? If you guys are not subscribed on their YouTube, if you're not following them on multiple podcast services, if you are not here right now following them or subbing to them, I got to think about, you guys coming to my channel, because I don't know if I want those type of house guests around.
And Richard has become our marketing agent.
Yeah.
Chris, you got anything else to say? You want to
I don't know what it's my week to do the video. I don't know what we're putting out. It just expect this month to be a lot of E3 news, and just like E3 conspiracy theories or something like that. I don't know. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Just make sure you're following us and you're updated. I'm gonna try to be streaming on our channel actually this week. I think I'm gonna get back into Minecraft or something like that. We'll see. But yeah, that's gonna be it for me.
Yendi, final thoughts?
Yeah, just a reminder, the giveaway will happen. Well, the giveaway announcement will happen tomorrow. Keep an eye on the YouTube. Please, I know some of you are under 18 and you don't have the attention span. I mean, I don't mean that in a bad way, but just follow the directions. It's very simple. If you follow the directions, you'll have a chance, you'll be entered, and then we will announce the winner live here on Twitch next week. So watch the video, go to the link in the description, and you'll be set. So yeah, that's it.
All right. And again, thank you guys so much for stopping by and listening to us banter about video games. We appreciate all the support you guys give us. So until next week, Fire Team out.